Welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something truly fascinating. We're deconstructing a recorded spiritual hypnosis session, a deep and transformative inner journey. Together, we're going to explore the incredible metaphors that came out of it, metaphors that help us understand our own inner world and what it could mean to venture beyond the real. So, right from the very start, we get this incredibly powerful and mysterious idea. The person in the session says the whole theme feels like it's beyond the real. Now, that's a hook, right? But what does that even mean? To go beyond the real, we first have to get a handle on what the real is in this context. And I'll tell you, it's probably not what you think. It's not about the physical world, the chair you're sitting on, or the air you're breathing. In the world of this session, the real is actually a psychological frontier. You can think of it like an invisible fence that we build around ourselves. And what are the posts and wires of this fence? They're made of our own limiting beliefs, those little voices that say, I can't. They're made of our fears, especially the fear of what other people will think, that fear of judgment. It's a self-imposed boundary, a limit we've accepted about who we are and what we're capable of. To help us visualize this, the session gives us this brilliant metaphor. We're living inside a bubble of reality. Now, when you hear bubble, you might think of something safe and protective, but that's not it at all. In this case, the bubble is a space of confinement. It's a bubble held together by the glue of our habits, our routines, and all those fears we just talked about. And wow, when you see the contrast laid out like this, it's just night and day. Inside the bubble, life feels confined. It's shadowed by fear and the constant worry of judgment. It's a place where we tend to make ourselves smaller, all held in place by the powerful force of habit. But what happens if you step outside? Everything changes. Suddenly, there's space, a sense of lightness and freedom. The session uses this fantastic phrase, an aired-out feeling. You know, like opening the windows in a stuffy room and finally letting fresh air in. Now, here is the most important part. This journey doesn't just happen to you by accident. It's not passive. It all starts with a conscious decision. It's a choice you make, an intentional step to say, okay, I'm going to challenge these limiting beliefs. I'm going to see what's actually on the other side of this fear. Popping that bubble, or at least stepping out of it, is the first and absolutely essential step. All right, so you've made the choice. You're ready to explore. What does the path forward actually look like? How do you navigate this space beyond the real? The session offers two more really powerful metaphors to light the way. The first metaphor for this process is just brilliant. It's like a neon tube. Think about a neon sign. The glass tube itself is dark, right? It's full of an inert gas. Nothing happens until you flip a switch. An unseen energy, an electrical current, flows through and excites the atoms of the gas, and boom, the whole thing lights up from within. The session suggests our consciousness works the same way. By setting an intention, we send an energy through our being that lights up parts of ourselves that were previously unseen, lying dormant in the dark. So let's just break that down into a simple process. First, there's the intention. That's you flipping the switch. It's the decision to know yourself more deeply. Second comes the illumination. That intentional energy flows through you and lights up these subtle, hidden layers of who you are. And third, the result, awareness. Through that inner light, you finally become conscious of things that were there all along, just waiting for you to look. The second metaphor is all about progression and the nature of trust on this journey. So, picture this. You're standing at the entrance of a long, pitch-black corridor. You can't see a thing. But as you take a step forward, a light clicks on, illuminating the path just a few feet ahead of you. As you keep walking, the lights in front of you switch on, while the path you've already walked fades back into darkness behind you. You never see the whole corridor at once. This corridor metaphor is such a beautiful way to describe a guided journey. It tells us a few really key things. First, you don't get the whole map up front. You only see what you need for the very next step. Second, your own presence, your willingness to move forward, is what activates the light. The path literally appears because you are walking it. It's a powerful symbol of what the session calls an anticipated accompaniment, a deep-seated trust that you're being guided, that the way will be made clear as you go. So as you walk this illuminated path, trusting each step, something fundamental begins to shift. It's not just about what you encounter on the journey, it's about how you perceive it. The whole experience leads to a new way of seeing, a move away from the purely intellectual and towards something much more whole. This comparison really gets to the heart of the shift. On one side, you have our normal analytical perception. It's the mind that wants to break things down, to label everything. You walk through a meadow and it's thinking, that's a dandelion, that's a buttercup, there's a bee. It's an act of the intellect. But on the other side is holistic perception. This is about experiencing the entire meadow at once. The feeling of the sun, the sound of the wind, the overall color and vibrancy. It's about noticing the nuances and experiencing the whole. The session calls this a state of ressenti, a French word that means a deep, profound, almost physical feeling of something. And the person in the session summed it up perfectly. They realized the point wasn't to get bogged down in analyzing every single plant, but to feel the essence of the whole landscape. It's the difference between reading the ingredient list on a cake and actually tasting the cake itself. This shift is about moving from thinking about the world to truly being with it. So we've walked the path, our perception has shifted, but where does this all lead? What is the final destination? What's the ultimate elixir, the treasure you're meant to bring back from this journey beyond the real? The experience culminates in a state that the session describes with this beautiful French phrase, an état apaisé intrinsèque. This translates roughly to an intrinsic state of peace. This is the prize. Not a fleeting happiness, but a deep, unshakable peace that comes from within you. It's a peace that isn't dependent on anything outside of you. It's just there. It is you. So what does this intrinsic peace actually feel like? Well, it's a bit tricky because it's beyond our usual categories. It's a state beyond thought, so you're not analyzing it. It's beyond emotion, so it's not excitement or even joy. It's more serene than that. The session describes it as a feeling of neutral completion, a sense that everything is perfectly okay, just as it is. There's no need to chase it or even congratulate yourself for finding it. You're just fully there, present, whole, and at peace. And this is where the whole journey just clicks together beautifully. This profound state of peace is the ultimate outcome of absolute unconditional trust. Remember that corridor with the motion sensor lights? This peace is what you find at the end of it. It's what happens when you've walked that path for so long, trusting each step, that giving trust becomes your automatic default setting. You don't even have to think about it anymore. It's just your natural state of being. So after unpacking this incredible inner journey, it all really comes back to us, doesn't it? It leaves us with a very deep and personal question to reflect on. Looking at your own life, your own habits, your own secret fears, what are the walls of your bubble made of? What beliefs define the limits of your reality? And maybe the most exciting question of all, what might be waiting for you just beyond the real?
From the heart of my heart, I leave behind this confinement I've built with my fears, my beliefs, my limitations. This bubble where I was fading away, where life seemed so small. Beyond the real, beyond my fear, I step out of this bubble. I reclaim space like a corridor where neon lights ignite. With every step, a new light shines. I am greater than I once believed. In this expansion, I finally find myself. My energetic body began to glow
etheric, astral, monadic, like neon sign in a long corridor, each layer renewed, each heal. I no longer search, I no longer think, just being in this absolute peace, this serene neutrality where trust is intrinsic.
I see myself again as a child in tall grass, sky above, larks singing. No need for names of flowers, just to feel, taste and listen. No more analysis, no more categories, only this total embodied sensation, this connection beyond words, where happiness simply lies in the meadow. I searched so far for what was already here, inside this inner temple, silent and peaceful. All these layers I've traversed just to rediscover this inexplicable peace. And now I understand that the quest ends when being begins, when I no longer seek to understand, but simply to feel. Nothing left to say, only to be in this completeness without end. This calm neutrality where everything is already perfect. I float without defined form through successive bubbles, each layer lighter than the last, until the core of my being. Happiness is in the meadow, in the present moment, without judgment, in this peace that asks for nothing but to be welcome simply.